Hello everyone and welcome back to my second video. I'm recording all here in a row. I have the same shirt on because I'm recording 3 videos in a row, so don't comment about that or anything like that. I'm reviewing the Willoughbys this time. I just recorded Sergio, which is my review that I uploaded either yesterday or the day before. Now I'm reviewing the Willoughbys, and I'll be doing the Extraction here in a little bit as well. But let's get right into this animated, weird, wacky movie from Netflix that is, like I said, it's weird and wacky and bizarre, and it's apparently based on a book that I had never heard of. So if you guys heard of the Willoughbys book, I don't know how similar it is or how faithful it is to that book, but I can tell you this movie is really strange. It reminded me in a strange way of the Addams Family, although much better than that animated Addams Family movie that just came out last year. I didn't really enjoy that movie at all, and this movie really does have some heart to it, and it has really bizarre and funny humor that's, the Addams Family animated movie had some of that, but I wanted more of it because there was one moment where the kid in the Addams Family was like crawling on a wall, and he like turned to the camera and his face turned all weird, and he like hissed at the camera, and it was super funny and really bizarre and just the weirdest humor you'd ever see. And this movie has a lot of stuff like that, which I really appreciated. And I think my main issue with the movie, which I thought was my main issue at first, was as soon as it started, I thought this movie looked incredibly cheap. I thought the animation was actually pretty bad because it was showing some of the city backgrounds, and it like the camera was tracking to the side and it went like past a building, and you can see that the building was just like the face of it, and it turned and it had a corner, and then it just looked really flat and kind of ugly. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy the animation style at first, but as soon as you get into the Willoughbys mansion and you kind of see the style of animation they're going for the characters' movements and how it is kind of oh my gosh, it's mimicking stop motion animation, and it looked really good from that point on, and I kind of fell in love with the animation as the movie went on. And I love stop motion animation. As you can see, Cullen 2 Strings is amazing. Coraline is amazing. Everything that the studio Leica does, I love. And this movie tried to replicate that, similar to how the Lego movie has that mimicked stop motion kind of look. And it worked really well in this movie, especially stylistically with the characters and with the weird kind of style of the character designs that this movie has to begin with. And like I said, this is a very funny movie. Like the humor is very weird. I tried showing my sisters this movie, and they were kind of turned off by it. They didn't really they didn't really get into it. I like weird movies, and this movie was right up my alley in terms of the weird, wacky story that is just really bizarre. The basic premise of this movie is essentially it's these Willoughby children, children of the Willoughbys. The mom and dad are really distant and ignorant parents that don't pay any attention to their kids whatsoever. It is an awful family. They won't feed them. They won't give them any attention. They kind of push them off on the side and put them in a dungeon for timeout, and it's a really abusive family relationship that is just not okay in any way. So the kids decide to orphan themselves by sending their parents on a trip to hopefully get them killed in the process. Like I said, this is a really bizarre and just insane movie with its premise, and it gets a little dark at times, and it has dark humor. Like I just said, that is a very messed up and dark premise of these kids wanting to orphan themselves by essentially murdering their parents. And like, that's not a spoiler. You find that out pretty early on in the movie. This is a bizarre story that is very weird, and I can't express that enough. So in some ways, I can see people going to this movie and seeing that premise and kind of like, okay, maybe we shouldn't show our kids this movie because it does deal with death and does deal with murder, I guess, and orphans, and just it's really bizarre, and it has this weird candy and colorful and vibrant animation style too that is kind of so opposite of what the themes are, that is just kind of insane. And I think what I loved most about this movie is it has those themes of these kids kind of being estranged from their parents, and it doesn't shy away from, not making everything all happy and amazing by the end of it with their relationship with their family, because the movie isn't trying to set out to make, and in some ways it does end up making that type of story that at the very beginning it says, oh, this isn't your happy-go-lucky normal kids movie, and in some ways it isn't. In some ways it very much is towards the end of the movie, and it gets all mushy, but I don't know, it has a brave choice towards the end that I was really hoping they would do, and they stuck with it, and I really enjoyed that part of the movie. I think for the most part, it's just really weird and wacky, and it doesn't have as much heart and as much punch as a Pixar movie would have necessarily, or like Cuba and the Two Strings had. So I do think this is just It's a really good animated movie. I don't think it's a great one. I really enjoyed it, like I said, just because it has that weirdness, but it does get dark, and it might get too weird for some people, whereas right up my alley, it might not be up for yours. So if you watch the trailer for this movie and you're not into it, you probably won't like this movie. I will say the voice talent is all excellent, and there's two characters, the twins, the young kids called the Barnabys, and they are some of the funniest characters I've seen in the movie in a while. They go up to like a walk sign and they keep on hitting the button. It keeps on saying wait, 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 and after the sign turns to walk, they keep on hitting the button and they just staring at the thing like, whoa, magic, or it's just ridiculous because they've been so sheltered away from technology. And it's just the Barnabys made me laugh every time. All the voice acting was really good. There was a narration by oh gosh, what's his name? There was a voiceover by Ricky Gervais that I thought was kind of like, okay, voiceovers in movies is kind of cheap, but it worked for the most part, and I thought he was kind of funny. He played a cat that just kind of followed them around. So there's this really weird story points that reminded me of the Addams Family, that reminded me of a lot of different things that I enjoyed for the most part. So if you guys have any interest in watching this movie, if you watch that trailer, if you like weird, wacky animations, and you want to watch a really cool, like stop motion-esque animation, this movie is probably just for you. But I can also see why you guys might absolutely just be weirded out by this movie and not like it at all. So that is my review for the Willoughbys. Check it out on Netflix if you guys can. Also check out my review for Sergio and my upcoming review for The Extraction, which I will have up in either the next day or two. Thanks guys for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel to keep up on my videos. I will be trying to upload better now that I've kind of gotten my motivation to do videos again. So thanks guys for watching. Subscribe, like, comment below what you guys thought of the Willoughbys, and I'll see you all in my next one.